Good day to you. Several months ago, I had done a training program on the art of interview skills. It was a group of young professionals, and we were going through the general gamut of questions. Tell me a little about yourself. What are your strengths and weaknesses? And all these youngsters came out with their answers, and we had a very interesting exchange of ideas of how they perceived themselves and how their teammates perceived them. All but one participant. This young lady seemed rather reticent to come forward and say anything. As a trainer, I do not force people to speak unless they are comfortable. So during the lunch break, I called her aside and I asked her if there was anything that she would like to tell me. And she said, "What could I say in front of all the achievements that my teammates had? They all have achieved so much. They're so successful in the organization. And I was ashamed to say anything because I had nothing to say about myself. You talked about strengths and weaknesses. I don't seem to have any strengths, and I did not want to disclose my weaknesses." And that got me thinking, which is why this video, are you worth you? Self-worth and self-esteem is so important, especially in the competitive world of today. I don't blame the individual because there's so much peer and parental pressure. Social media puts so much on you. If you're not dressed a certain way, if you don't look a certain way, if you're not thin enough, if you're not tall enough, if you're not fair enough, your self-worth takes a beating. But I want to tell you that self-worth has its key word in self. It is you who have to love you. There has to be an unconditional acceptance and love of yourself if you are going to be a success in life. If you are going to think that other people's apparent success makes you a failure, then that's what you will be. If you feel that you are insignificant, if you feel that your opinion is not worth it, you will be relegated to that back burner and you have no one to blame but yourself. I want every one of you listening to this video to learn that we seek self-worth from outside, extraneous domains, and that will never work for you. You have to look deep within yourself. Each one of us has strengths and talents. Sure, we're not perfect. In fact, perfection is quite boring. You need to have a little bit of craziness, idiosyncrasies, because that is who you are. And you've got to accept that. You know, years ago when I was young and working with a team on a project, we completed the project and then the director sat us down to tell us what he observed about our working. And when he came to me, he said, "You know, your weakness is your impatience." And I turned around and told him, "Sir, you see it as a weakness, but for me, my impatience is a strength because it helps me to work quicker, faster, better, to get the project done so that we can go on to the next job at hand." Of course, my teammates were horrified that I would talk back to the director. But it wasn't talking back, it was asserting what I believed about myself. So if you know that what you're doing is right, what difference does it make what other people think of you? They are not living your life. You are. And be proud of that. You know, in this competitive world, life is a journey. And it's a journey of discovery every day. Our experiences teach us something every day. At my age, I am learning things about myself depending on my circumstances. And this I never knew about myself before. So fill yourself with a childlike discovery of yourself. Enjoy the adventure that each day brings. And don't be afraid to go out there and assert yourself. It's not aggression, it's assertion. And when you assert confidently, you will be taken seriously and you will be liked, admired, and respected for it. So friends, all I'm going to say at the end of this video is look into yourself. That is where your power lies. You don't need a Tom, Dick, or Harry, or a Jane, Ethel, and Barbara to tell you who you are. So go out, enjoy being you, because you are unique. And I love that tagline of the L'Oreal ad, "You're worth it." Have a wonderful day.